Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. I wanted to drop this video this morning and just get in the habit of doing one in the morning and in the evening to keep some of the information flowing so I don't drop behind. One thing that I've said in other videos is that there's so many things that happen in a 24-hour period in the cryptocurrency space that it's often hard to keep up with and easy to drop off on. So I do want to, you know, give you some. Oh, sorry, I had to shut off my alarm. I woke up a little bit before my alarm this morning. Don't you just hate when that happens? So I want to jump into it because there's a number of things that I wanted to touch on. First, the market cap for today is at 186, up 0.82%. Love waking up and seeing the everything on the right side up and to the right and in green. We got Bitcoin over 45,000, looks to be pushing and heading toward 46. Ethereum over 3,100. We got XRP at 84. Will it hit $1? We'll see. Polkadot 21, Uniswap 29, Solano 41, and Chainlink at 24, pushing up to 25. We'll see. Now I want to show this, like I normally do, and I want to talk about, amidst everything that's going on in the Senate, business as usual, and the cryptocurrency market has no regard for the politics, of the land. I think this is significant, and it's not only significant. This is what Motley Fool came up with. Why Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge all popped on Monday, and some of the key points is that this 1 trillion infrastructure bill in the Senate proposed to raise 28 billion by taxing crypto transactions. They go on to say that the bill is likely to pass the Senate vote today or tomorrow, and a new power crypto lobby opposes reporting requirements in the bill and will continue fighting them. Of these key points, this crypto lobby, this idea that this is a force to be reckoned with, that are a force to be reckoned with, will pop up again. But Monday, Ethereum jumped 3.7%, Bitcoin 4.4%, and Doge 5.9%. And as Motley Fool in this article has to say, that DC can be thanked, or that we should be thanking DC for that. Why? Well, it's probably this adverse reaction that happens where whenever there's buzz in and around the crypto space, things start flowing, and perhaps as an unconscious, collective conscious movement in the space, as a sign to test what's happening in DC, people are moving money around, which is interesting. And I do want to share the last part of this this article, because this is kind of the revelation that I had, and one that'll go into that's hopefully sewn in through the topics this morning. The article says that lobby army, and he's talking about the cryptocurrency lobby, may have lost a battle in the Senate Sunday night, but as Politico points out, even if the infrastructure bill is passed, as is by Senate, it must survive a House vote and probably reconciliation between the two legislative bodies. 2 more chances to get the broker definition tightened up. And this, I think, is just so beautifully said. With cryptocurrency now recognized as, end quote, more of a force than anybody ever anticipated, end quote, argued Politico. you shouldn't count the crypto lobby out just yet. The revelation that I had last night was, you know what, I personally have ramped up my coverage of this. I've always kept up with politics, so my worlds are kind of colliding now, and hopefully I'm helping others understand and make sense of what's going on in the crypto space, and particularly with this bill, and helping you understand it, because there's not a lot of people that are communicating the political side out effectively, and they certainly don't know anything about the cryptocurrency space, and so hopefully I'm able to do that. I do want to jump over because Mickey B. Fresh sent and shared this on his Twitter. He said, uh, Tim Draper nailed it perfectly back 3 or 4 years ago in this discussion with Gary Gensler. It's exactly what has taken place recently with incumbent banks and old guard teaming up with corrupt regulatory agencies to file frivolous enforcement lawsuits and a few rogue senators. Listen.
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
Just
what
feel the
what's
panic in their voices.
What's the line
But
of
here's
business that
oh,
is most
well,
vulnerable?
here's what always happens. First, the first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along. The powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. You know, they're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's go after, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing they do. They adopt the technology. I think
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt
No,
this technology.
no, this is the last thing they do. No,
Yeah, it's like
it's
the
after.
seven
It's
stages of
after.
grief, I
Right.
know.
It's after the press planting. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh God, this thing's happening. And then they go, okay, what are we going to do? How do we get it? So then they either make or buy.
Make sure you find this video and you put it up in the archives. Because Tim Draper, I agree with you, Mickey B. Fresh. This is exactly what is happening with these lawsuits, and also this buzz around cryptocurrency. You know, everyone spelled out the implications of what would happen if they were to define broker the way they did. Everyone would be packing their bags and leaving, and that would be a huge red flag and an alarm. I'm no alarmist. Who knows what I would do? I'd probably stay here. I'm not the ones that would be jumping ship and head into a place that's crypto friendly like Ukraine or Kazakhstan or Lithuania. Um, Maybe I'd be heading to Wyoming. But whatever the case may be, this is exactly what's going on. Gary Gensler recognized it. This is 3 or 4 years before he's now, riding the coattails of Jay Clayton in this ridiculous lawsuit against Ripple. Going back to Gensler, Michael Valfiveling shared this article from CoinDesk entitled Gary Gensler's Insane Crypto Policy. Now, Gary Gensler, had said last week, or that, essentially the cryptocurrency space is the Wild West. And, he's been saying that for years, but he's invoking this idea that, there needs to be framework, and uh, the SEC is going to be the one to do it. Although at the end of the week, CFTC made its claim, as had Congress. And so, um, with what I've seen in the last couple of days, this is Congress's introduction to cryptocurrency as a force to be reckoned with, and things are not going to change, folks. cryptocurrency isn't just going to dissolve from the political sphere. And so, the early pioneers, the think tanks that are based out of Washington, D.C., Jerry Brito, get ready because there's going to be a wave of folks coming, and hopefully to have each other's back. Uh, Other people in the space have been talking about this, how we ultimately need to come together, and I really believe that we do. I used to see these things as being, heterogeneous, where you've got people, you got your Bitcoin people over here, your Ethereum people over here, your XRP and Cardano. But the reality is, like, we're all facing the same common enemy, and that common enemy is the regulatory old guard that exists that's trying to cling on to, the banking system and the way things work. And they're trying to overcomplicate things and make this so people are scared of it. And they're projecting their own fear on everybody else. So do check out this article, just to name talk about a couple things that they talk about, and that I agree with. Is that they say other major Clayton era guidance came from a 2018 speech where Hinman, this is the two SEC chairs ago, declared Ether the currency for the second biggest crypto blockchain. Ethereum was not a security. The crypto world cheered. But in the closely watched Ripple litigation, the commission has now disavowed that finding. This is so interesting, and it's the elephant in the room that the SEC has failed to add clarity on. Gensler was asked directly last week by Anja Manuel, why the SEC overlooked that, and he just totally sidestepped the question as though that never happened. And this is something that the SEC needs to answer before they can move on with anything regarding this Ripple lawsuit. I do want to share this lastly to kind of tie in everything, and this is something that I'd overlooked, and I think I took it I took it differently, probably because I was just kind of fed up with this, political game that's being played out in Washington. Um, but Jeff Stein shared the Tom Ember uh, blockchain bipartisan caucus that was formed by representatives after watching what happened, and I totally took it the wrong way when Jeff Stein said, "Who is ready to do this again?" I then opened it up and actually thought about it, within the context for, I think, the way he's seeing it. So let me read it out, and you kind of be the judge of what you might be saying. But it says, "Dear colleague, as bipartisan co-chairs of the Blockchain Caucus, we wanted to share additional information about and express our concern with Section 80603 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act as currently written. This provision establishes new IRS reporting obligations for non-custodial blockchain technology providers, entities who do not broker transactions and have no way to comply with such requirements. Left unchanged, this provision will have sweeping implications for crypto innovators in our country and further regulate innovation out of the United States." I totally misreading this, and I do apologize. But it's basically saying everything that I've said in this earlier this video and in others. Going on, middlemen who perform broker transactions, such as centralized currency exchanges, are currently required and should comply with tax reporting obligations. And basically, he's going on to say here that this is targeting the wrong people, and then backs up, the innovation leaving the United States. The last part I'll share before we wrap up here: cryptocurrency tax reporting is important, but it must be done correctly. I agree. When the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act comes to the House, We must prioritize amending this language to clearly exempt non-custodial blockchain intermediaries and ensure that civil liberties are protected. And this is presented by Congressman Emmer, Soto, Schweikert, and Bill Foster. To wrap up and just kind of summarize everything, and this will probably take everyone's anxiety off of what's happening in DC. The way I see this playing out is it really doesn't matter what's being said, what's going to be argued. At the end of the day, the language will be cleared up because if the Senate were to pass it without the amendment that Toomey, Wyden, and Loomis put together, I really do believe that the House of Representatives will come through. If not, it's going to have some devastating impact, a devastating impact. And but at the end of the day, we're entering to put it bluntly, and to be real here, the game just got real. Cryptocurrency is a force to be reckoned with, a huge lobby, and moving forward, it's going to get loud. So I will leave you there. Everyone have a great one today. Stay tuned for everything that's going on. Thank you for tuning in to Desert Sun Crypto. Have a good one.